Far from an audio medium unlike anything you've ever heard before. The pinnacle of sound experience. Jacked and Canned. Featuring John Tessman and Colby Tyler. A place where you will get the information you crave and hear about the topics that you love. Presented by themselves. Coming to you from the basement, bar, and the bedroom. Sponsored by no one. Jacked and Canned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jacked and Canned. John, joining me as always. How are you tonight, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing good. I was looking at a article earlier from Barstool Sports, and I thought the headline of this article was kind of interesting. 1 in 5 New York City residents are now considering getting freaky on OnlyFans to help pay for their astronomical rent. Colbs, not only are gas prices in Connecticut over $5 a gallon in some areas, but rent prices are also skyrocketing.
John, I want to skip past all that part of the subject matter. So 1 in 5 people are looking to get into OnlyFans. Is this thing that easy to be a part of that you can just start one up and assume that there's somebody that wants to watch you do whatever it is they do on there? Like, I'm not familiar with the premise. I might sound incredibly old right now, and part of the reason for that is that I am. But I don't know much about OnlyFans and what exactly takes place there or how easy it is to begin one.
So what do you know about it?
I just know it's something that people say when they're, if you ask, for example, I've noticed in social settings that if somebody says, let's just say, for example, like, hey, dump them out, she'll say, check out my OnlyFans. So I anticipate that there's some type of lewd, perhaps lucrative industry going on the side there. But I don't know exactly what entails an OnlyFans. I don't know what the limitations are. I don't know if there are any. I don't know if you set your own. I don't know how easy these things are to start. I don't know if you do you charge for them? I don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jacked and Canned has a subscriber-based OnlyFans featuring Colbs later on this afternoon. No, I'm only kidding. So Colbs, OnlyFans, all right? From my understanding now, I've never used it. I've never been on it, hosted it. I have no idea. But from what I've heard from others or even seen some posts, because Colbs,
I don't know if you're making us sound any younger. I feel like you sound as old as I do describing this right now.
I know. So, all right. OnlyFans is basically how I take it as it's kind of like a Snapchat, but you have to pay for it. That's the way I look at it. But it's probably live streaming. Is how I'm guessing. It's like StreamYard, who we use right now, but it's a little bit more risky.
So, but are you expected by having one to do particular acts, or is this something that like we could make one and it could just be that people get to watch like us behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think that could be the case. I guess there's even people that have like cooking shows on OnlyFans as well. But I think it gets a reputation from more of that kind of crazy content. Yeah. The adult content in Colbs. I just think it's interesting because I see, on my Facebook page and stuff, and like people, I haven't seen since like high school. And all of a sudden I see in like their Facebook story, right? And I see like, follow me at whatever. And I'm like,
yeah, my name at OnlyFans.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I haven't seen you in like 10 years, in some cases since middle school. I'm like, hey, I see you're doing good. All right, looking good, doing good. Do your thing. Like, that's cool. But
I just like it. Yeah, I'm thinking the reason that I really brought that up in the first place, John, is I'm thinking to myself, like 1 in 5 people. That's actually a pretty good bit of people. So, John, let's say like you or I wanted to start this thing up. What the hell could we draw in? Like, seriously, like what are we gonna do? Like, what am I gonna be something for people that got a thing for short guys?
Colbs, what are we gonna do? We could do an OnlyFans to watch me and you play Madden together, and me throw about 5 interceptions, and you run the ball for 500 yards.
Yeah,
So
actually, it is pretty impressive considering that we win the majority of our games, even though John has a negative touchdown to turnover ratio.
absolutely. So that's what our page would be about. But Colbs, I saw that headline and I'm like, man, if there is any truth behind that, I'm like, that's a lot of people. And I'm so
That is a
curious.
lot,
Like,
especially in New York City. That's a
yeah.
lot of people.
And I'm like, okay, all right. I guess you know what? One step closer to the metaverse. That's all I could say. We're moving even more online because now people are going to be
Okay,
seeking out
now
pleasures.
now I got to stop you here, John, because once again, I'm going to be the old guy in the show right now. What exactly is the metaverse? This is another term that I've heard thrown out there that I have no idea what it actually means. It sounds to me like it might be what we used to refer to as the cloud, but now it is more of a multicultural and multi-sociological gathering of beings.
So it's basically like virtual reality, augmented reality. Think of it kind of like a digital world. Like
Oh, so it's actually its own world. We're not just talking about logging onto the internet anymore.
no, it's its own like world, it's its own space. Like I could just picture myself like I could see this scopes in like 50 years from now. Me and you we're going to be chilling in the same convalescent home. We're barely
You
going to be
got me
able to
living
walk.
another 50 years?
40 years, maybe 38. So another 38 years from now. Okay, we're going to be chilling in a convalescent home, just hanging out, cracking a couple cold ones, still recording the pod to the same uh, couple of people that we have on here. But Colbs, we're going to be doing it in the meta world. So that's where we can go in this metaverse and be young again and be able to kind of go around and go out to the rocking horse till 2 in the morning and slam down a whole bunch of brews and have a good time. For those of you that don't know, the rocking horse, it's a country bar. I don't even know if
Yeah,
you could
it's
call
a
it a country bar anymore. Colbs, that might be different now. It might not be anymore.
yeah, we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
No, it was, I mean, yeah, it was in essence a country, it was a mix of a country bar and like teetering along the lines of almost a club.
Yeah.
It was the closest thing to a club that a country bar could be. Think of it that way.
Yep.
And it was where John and I and all of our friends gathered at all through our early 20s. I mean, pretty much every Saturday night. We always ended up there at some point, or, if not every Saturday, every other Saturday. And that was an establishment where we made some of, really, honestly, John, some of the best times of our lives. I had a
Yeah.
blast there almost every time.
Even when you got slugged that night
Yeah,
for
even when I
throwing the
got
hot
punched in the
dog.
face that one night, and then I got kicked out of the bar for getting punched in the face. Like, what the hell was that?
Genie with the weenies, baby. Genie with the
Genie with the
weenies.
weenies, always there for us. Oh, you were talking about that night. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, I guess I got punched there twice.
Colbs, can you enlighten our audience on that hot dog night, though? I love
Yeah,
this
okay.
story. I love
Okay,
this.
yeah, I got this. So, coming out of the rocking horse at closing time is kind of like picture like a movie where there's a zombie apocalypse of sorts and
I
everybody's
like that.
stampeding over each other trying to get to whatever, like if they're all just trying to rush out of a building because the zombies have made their way in. That's kind of what the rocking horse at closing time is like, for no reason other than everybody's like, yeah, drunk, gonna go somewhere else now, even though everything's closed. They have to go back home or to a hotel or whatever. But for whatever reason, everybody just stomps on out of there. And I got shoved. I mean, for those of you who don't know, if you don't by now, this is on you. But maybe for some new listeners, I am 5'4". I'm not very large. So back at the times of the rocking horse, when there would be people John size, for example, who's 6'4", who would then just kind of start shoving forward to try to get out faster for whatever reason. It doesn't take much to move me. So I got shoved into a gentleman that was roughly my size, a little bit smaller even, and he took offense to it, to which I couldn't take him seriously because I'm like, dude, I'm not I'm not here to fight you. Like, come on, the big guy behind me pushed me into you. Like, big guy, small guy, small guy. Come on, dude, you should be on my side here. But the guy just kept punching me in the face, and I kept just telling him, "Look, dude, stop punching me."
Literally, Coles was that calm too as he's getting
Yeah,
punched.
yeah, I'm
And
getting punched, and I'm just like, Guy, okay, come on, stop punching. It's okay. Well, let's use your words." And John launches in a hot dog out of nowhere because John, for those of you who don't know or haven't figured it out by now, has no aggression. There will never be a punch thrown from John. So John launches a hot dog from what had to have been about 15 feet away, maybe a little bit more. John's got himself a safe distance, and that was John's contribution to this particular endeavor that I was involved in. Was a hot dog being tossed in. And then our buddy that's actually taller than John just said, "Okay, got this," and picked me up like a baby, carried me over his head, and we went back to the car.
and we went back to probably party some more that night.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
I
We
mean,
probably did.
I think that kid slugged me like 5 times. I didn't even have like a red mark or anything, man. Like that kid, that kid had no business punching me.
Oh my god. Fun
No, John,
times.
there was another time that we were there though that I legitimately got punched in the face, and I was like, I literally I turned around and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I started winding back to hit him, and then the bouncer picked me up, walked me out of there, and then I got kicked out of the bar for it. I'm like, "I didn't even do anything yet." Yeah, I was about to.
I like it, man. A lot of fun times. A lot of fun times. But Colbs, those are the times that we're going to be living again in the metaverse. So the metaverse, just picture that, a
So
digital
this is something to look
creation.
forward to then.
It's something to look forward to when we're like 70 or 80 and we can't move that great. When Colbs, when you're like 70 and
Now, is
80,
this
where
going to
you
be interactive with all sorts of people so we can go to the rocking horse with all of our friends again?
yes, yes, we'll all be
All right, that's pretty
regrouped.
cool.
That's what I'm saying. So we could
How's
just
it going to know what music to play?
because we'll be in the metaverse. We choose it. We're like, hey, this is our version of what we want.
Do our young embodiments move like we
Yeah.
actually move when we're young?
Yep.
That's all right. I'm definitely curious. You have me
Colbs, you're
intrigued
already
on this
ready
one.
for it. Colbs is already ready for it.
This one sounds pretty
Colbs
cool.
is
I'm not
already
sure
done.
about this whole OnlyFans business. This sounds dirty, but this metaverse, I think I might be able to get behind this. This is how I can get myself tired on a Friday night now when I know I have to get up early.
There's so many changes going on right now too, and I believe that a lot of these changes are going to take place, Colbs, because if you think about it, even when we were younger, you got to think our age group being at 30 years old, we went through a lot of technology changes already just in our lifetime, right?
Yeah.
You could
Yeah,
pretty much
John,
argue
we
cell
didn't
phones.
necessarily grow up with computers.
Right. We didn't grow up with computers. Like they weren't there when we were, or if they were very, very early DOS versions. Like,
Yeah, we could play Minesweeper.
yeah, pretty much. So they were kind of worthless before, right? So even though I remember the Windows 95 days, that was cool. But anyway, shout out to them. Windows 98 was better though. Woo! All right.
Yep, that's what
Um,
I had. That was my first one, Windows 98.
But dude, so we didn't think that that was a reality, or I should say the older generation probably didn't think that that was going to be something that lasts. So like, oh, this computer thing, yeah, not a shot. This ain't gonna last. Okay, that pretty much took over the world. Cell phones are like, yeah, that's kind of stupid. Who's gonna want to carry a phone on them? Yeah, that pretty much took over the world too. So guess what? This is like one of those revolutionary changes that you kind of just go with. So the metaverse sounds like something that's crazy. That seems very different to a lot of people, but I could totally see that playing out, man. And personally, I'm excited for it. If I'm 70, if I'm 80 years old and I can't walk, I can't move anymore, and I'm just chilling in a convalescent home having a glass of rum in my hand, and I'm not a rum drinker, but I could just envision myself if I can't move drinking rum. You know what I mean? Colbs, let's go in the metaverse, baby. Let's go party. Let's go party like it's we can literally set it back and go party like it's 2011 all over again.
Oh wow. Oh, you picked the right time frame. That is yes. Yes, I want some Akon bumping in there.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta. Oh God, that would be so nice. Because I mean, 2011 sounds really cool when I think about it. Except that I think that if I tried to do the same things now, I would actually just shrivel up and fall apart physically. I think like you would see pieces of my body just falling off on the ground.
So, with that said, man, I mean, we have something to look forward to in the future, but just had to throw that out there. So that's how I want to start off this episode of Jacked and Can. Colbs,
No, John, you did a good job. We just carried 15 minutes of making myself sound like the oldest person that there is in their 30s.
yeah, guess what? We both are, but yeah, you're definitely an older version of 30 than me. But
Yeah.
you're the shifty hippo, so you adjust with everything. Colbs, what are the other topics we want to talk about tonight, man? Let's give our listeners a little tease.
All right. Well, there's going to be a little bit more back and forth conversational with John and I, as there typically would be. It's not going to be quite as topic based. I do want to talk about the 1-year-old's birthday party that I went to a little bit more in depth.
Yes.
I don't know if I actually got to share anything about it the last
No.
time that we did this, or if it was just that I was going like the day after or whatever the case
You were
may
just
be.
going the day after, yeah.
Okay, so I do want to talk about that because I had a pretty fun time with it, and I actually got some kind of fun pieces from that. I got a couple of random Uber topics that have just come to mind over the course of the last week, and as always, there will be cracking a cold one with Colbs.
Hell yeah, cracking a cold one with Colbs, dude. I love it, man. Hey, we got one of those bot listeners over here in the live channel with us. And ladies and gents, I would just want to take a moment here and say, me and Colbs do these episodes live. I know we don't want to advertise it, but check out our YouTube channel, catch it on a rerun or the podcast version. Colbs, what do you got to say to this bot person? They keep coming in here and speaking language that we don't know.
I mean, I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, they're dropping the same words in here every
Yeah.
time, which tells me that this is definitely some sort of propaganda. So I'm not going to read the words aloud as I once did, because I do not believe that this is something that I should be saying, even though they appear to be pretty basic words. What I will say is that I do not condone robots being in here. I do not condone
God.
robot propaganda in here. I
Colbs,
do not. Yes.
the metaverse is coming now. That's what's been happening.
It's just a portal. if we click whatever that comment is, it's probably a link, and we're just in the metaverse, and all of a sudden we can pretend to be 10 years younger again.
We're going. We've been chosen.
We're going to the metaverse. We're going to the metaverse.
Hey, it's a thirsty Thursday night, Colbs. Let's go.
Yeah, it is. How about that?
Oh.
No, but I don't condone robot behavior, and if you're a robot, bleep you.
I love it, man. Let's go ahead here. Let's transition. What are we talking about next? What do we want to talk about?
All right, I want to get a couple of these Uber topics off my chest here, because these are a couple of things that I've noticed with Uber that have made me laugh more than anything else. One of which is, John, you've done Uber Eats, right?
So yeah, I've ordered it quite a few times. They keep sending out the best promo codes, like 20 off 35.
Oh, they do. They got pretty solid deals. Now,
Yeah.
the thing that I wanted to laugh at from Uber Eats is, you know how it does the preparing your food stage, and it shows like all
Yes.
these ingredients mixing and all these
Yep.
different baking and cooking niches that you would see, and for example, anything on the Food Network. Well, John, I don't think it really applies that well when we're talking about Uber Eats, McDonald's. I'm pretty sure none of those things are taking place.
You know what? That's a good point.
I
wish-
just did it the other day, and I was looking at it. I'm like, why the hell are they showing anything being mixed together? All the shit came in frozen. I know that all they're doing is throwing it into whatever oven or fryer
Heater.
that it needs to go into. Yeah, basically. And it's just getting slapped between a couple of buns and shipped my way. So they should have in the Uber Eats function, depending on what you got as your food, I feel like they should have different things for preparing. So they could just have like some dude that's just sitting there like with a fork trying to figure out how to pull the patty out of the oven because he can't do it. He doesn't want to burn his fingers, and he's never had any kitchen experience. I want to see a guy that's trying to figure out which bun is the top and the bottom, and he doesn't know which side the cheese goes on. He doesn't know where to put
Yes.
the onions. Like, I want to
Yes.
see people that you would actually see in a McDonald's, and not to suggest that all McDonald's workers don't know what they're doing. But I think anybody that works out at McDonald's would be able to tell you when they've worked with somebody that didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Any
valid.
longtime McDonald's person, they definitely know they've had a kid there before that had no bleeping clue what they were doing. And they're just like, oh, dear God, how do I help this poor child?
Dude, 100% with you. I wish that they would do that. Actually add some animations in there for Uber Eats, because that's funny, because I have
Yeah,
ordered
it
it
should
several
show like a
times.
bag being handed to a customer through a window. It should have all the basics. Somebody just squirting out ketchup.
I want to see like the behind the scenes kind of animation. So I want to see the dude that's kind of sick of working at McDonald's and he's outside in a smoke break, like
He's
cussing
just
everybody
stomping
out.
on your patty.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you want to order this at 10 o'clock at night? Yeah, go screw yourself, Jack. So that's
The
what I
filet of
want to
fish
see.
is not available after midnight. And you order this at 11:45.
Ooh,
Bleep you.
that's a Colbs, that's a whole nother thing. I know I've pulled up in a drive-through a little bit before a place is closing, not even to my knowledge. And I always wonder, I'm like, because you can always hear they're like, hey, welcome over here, whatever it is, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, pick your flavor, right? And they'll be like, yeah, just to let you know, we're out of this. We're out of this. We're out of this. And we're out of this. And we're only accepting cash. And I'm like, yeah, no sweat. Can I just grab a McDouble?
See, that's where I get lucky, John, because that's half of what I eat there anyway. It's just like, give me a McDouble and a small fry.
Dude,
I'm 5'4", 160. I don't need much.
well, Colbs, it's the same thing for me. So, me being like kind of frugal and stuff, right? I've never like evolved on a fast food menu. Like if anything's above, dude, if any one single item is above 3 items, I'm going to cringe. So I typically don't order that. So I can honestly say, man, I can't remember the last time I ordered a meal from fast food, and I don't know if I ever have had one. Maybe when
I
I
do
was
it when
really
I
young.
do Uber Eats just because you spend so much in the taxes and fees and everything
Yes.
that I find it more worth it to just make sure I'm really going to have fun with my meal versus
Fair
if
enough.
I'm going through the drive-through, yeah, dollar menu all day. Just get me out of here with $3 spent.
Yeah, true. So what is your average cart size? How much do you spend?
So when I do it on Uber Eats, again, because it's all the fees and the delivery and the tip, it ends up being like $17, but it's just for a meal, like a typical meal. But I've noticed that if I just do like a McDouble and a small fry, it still ends up being 13. So it's honestly not much different. It's like, okay, I'll get the bigger burger and the bigger fry and I'll get a drink too.
There you go, man. Fair enough, dude. Hey, before we go ahead and transition over here to cracking a cold with Copes, I do have to mention this. So talking about Uber Eats and stuff, we were thinking, Rose was over here the other day. We were thinking about ordering some Uber Eats. So like, you know what? Let's stay in. Let's watch a movie. We were originally thinking about going to see Batman, but dude, Batman's like 3 hours long.
John, can I correct you? It is The Batman.
The Batman. So I was thinking about seeing The Batman, but it's 3 hours long, Copes. That's a little bit of a long time. That's like Lord of
Jesus,
the
they made
Rings.
that thing 3 hours. This is
3
why I don't watch
hours.
these damn movies.
3 hours. That's pretty long. I would have been cool with like an hour 58.
The last one of
2
those that
hours,
I did
20.
was The Irishman. There is no point in me sitting here watching a movie for 3 hours unless I know it's going to be gold.
Yeah, so I know that one's going to be gold, but 3 hours is just a long time. It takes up a good chunk of your night, right? When you don't have much time, you're getting out of work, you're like, do I want to sit down for 3 hours? But anyways, so we ended up coming back, and on Paramount Plus, they're actually showing the new Scream movie, the one that just came out. And they had the original actors and actresses in it, right? Freaking, I liked it. I liked it, man. And all I have to say is they had the best flashbacks to the original killer. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but ladies and gents, see it. Colbs, I hope you see it. And question for you, are you going to, or are you planning on even, or you don't even care altogether?
What? The Batman?
The new Scream movie.
Oh, the new Scream movie. Yeah, I'll probably watch that.
Yeah, we ended up staying and watching the new Scream movie instead of the Batman. And it was a quick one, right? An hour, 40 minutes compared to 3 hours. I'm like, cool, we could watch this twice. in
Yeah,
the same amount of
generally the
time.
horror genre tends to run a little bit thinner on time than the, really anything involving a superhero, evidently.
Fair enough. You know what else is running thin on time? Colb's cold brew that's sitting right next to him. So we better get over there to cracking a cold with Colb segment before that thing. Is it ready to crack already?
Oh, I'm running to the fridge to grab a new one.
All right, let's see if we can do it in 30 seconds. Be right back, ladies and gents. Be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cracking a Cold One with Colbs, the segment where I will drink a beer while John tells the audience something he finds fun, interesting, or otherwise. John, go ahead and take over while I drink this beer.
Kolbs, so I was wrong. The movie is not 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 56 minutes. So I gave it a little bit of a buffer, but I do want to mention this.
Watchable now.
Yes, watchable for sure. It does have a 92% score on Google Movies for their rating. IMDb, 8.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, Kolbs. If you had to guess, Rotten Tomatoes can be very misleading at times. Some movie scores Rotten Tomatoes that they give, it could be like a 90. And I'm like, this movie wasn't that great. Whereas they give one a 13, and I'm like, this one's gold. What do you think the Batman came in at?
63.
All right. I would have figured the same thing. 86. That's pretty high for a Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, the movie's probably okay then.
But Colbs, that's the random moment of the day. What you got?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we crack a cold one tonight. For those of you who, well, I guess you probably haven't caught the Sports Roundtable because it hasn't been posted yet, but the Sports Roundtable will be posted here in the near future. And as of that time, Russell Wilson had just been traded, and I was a little bit in shambles, but I was remaining very optimistic. Now, we go into about an hour after John and I finished recording, and the Seahawks cut Bobby Wagner, which for those of you who don't know has been our inside linebacker, I would say, along with Patrick Willis and Luke Kuechly, probably the best linebacker. I think you could argue any of the three of them over the course of the last decade. And that one hurt. I'm going to be honest. That actually hurt me more than the Russell Wilson trade. And I know that this is a little bit of a roundtable subject, John, but this was a piece for our team that I don't see where we couldn't have gotten some type of trade value for him. And we might have been doing this in respect to him so that he can go find whatever roster he wants to be a part of and just join rather than us trying to find a trade partner that he also wants to go to, because I'm sure he wants to play for a contender. He's still a top level linebacker in the NFL. But this one not only signified the full-blown end of an era, but we couldn't even get anything back for him, man. And that one really hurt. And it also was a total blindside for nothing. We released him, John.
Oh,
yeah. This wasn't, we traded him. That we should, like, I wish we would have traded him, but we didn't. We just full-blown cut him. So Bobby Wagner, it turns out, evidently the leading favorites in the clubhouse are the Rams and the Cowboys as far as who may sign him. So, John, that could be very beneficial for you because I'm telling you, Bobby Wagner is one of the best linebackers in football. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe with us cutting him, that does mean that we pay his salary for this season. I could be mistaken, but he might be able to go in somewhere for somewhat cheap because I believe he's already going to be getting a portion of his contract, at least for this season. So I now kind of find myself in a little bit more of shambles to where I'm going, shit. Now, everything that I had, because, I mean, we kind of knew as Seahawk fans that Russell Wilson, there was a solid chance that he was going to be on his way out.
right.
So I wasn't overly disappointed with that, considering that we did get a pretty solid haul for him. I would have liked a third first-round draft pick, but I'll take what we got because, honestly, I do think it's a good deal. I really don't like what we did with the Bobby Wagner release. And granted, I do think that that's probably some back channeling within the team where the team had spoken with Bobby and Bobby said, yeah, if Russ isn't here, I'd like to be out of here too. And I kind of want to figure out where I want to go on my own. And so the team more likely
just going to blow up the team now?
Yeah, that's what this is, John. I mean,
so
Jamal
DK's
Adams
gone.
Is still DK. Here's my fear with that, John, is I do think that DK, because he's going to be coming towards the end of his rookie deal. I think that noticing that there's not necessarily a bright future in the near future, that DK would probably then make his way out. I mean, we've got Jamal Adams, but he's, he's an effective player, but he's not somebody you can build a whole team around by any means. I don't love this. Granted, this did free up a lot of cap space, so there's a lot of things we can do. I've seen mock drafts where now they've got the Seahawks taking Malik Willis, I believe it was, out of Liberty, who's a quarterback who's highly touted. But I, I'm going to be honest, I don't put a lot of faith and trust into a quarterback that's coming out of Liberty. I mean, that's not a college that plays Alabama on a regular basis. It's not somebody that I would feel confident in saying would then grow to be a great NFL player. Not to say that he won't, because I didn't think much of Russell Wilson coming into the league either. But God, I'm a sad Seahawk fan right now, John. I've been sitting around just playing Madden, kind of crying myself to sleep.
So, ladies and gents, real quick inside look. Sports Roundtable episode will be posted up actually tonight, and that is March 10th. Same thing with this one here. So make sure you give it a listen. Colbs, dude, I just saw an article here. Bobby Wagner. There's some rumors floating around that the Lions are interested in him. Now, that would be exciting for me because oh yeah.
If we cut him and he ends up being a Lion, that is just bullshit. God, for the love of God.
I knew that was going to get you mad.
If we could have traded him if that was the case. Like, I figure us releasing him means he's going to a Super Bowl contending team. If he ends up being a goddamn Lion, I am pissed. I am outright livid. I am no longer sad. I am just pissed. I'm going on a rampage.
Well, you know what would have been interesting, because the Cowboys are talking about releasing Amari Cooper because of, salary, everything like that. If they just came to terms where they could have somehow traded Wagner for Cooper, would you have liked a deal like that? I know it's not even.
I mean, I would have liked it better than releasing him, but no, I don't think that helps us because we don't need a receiver.
I'm with you. Hey, something else as we're on the football topic here. Carson Wentz, did you hear?
Yeah, Washington Commander. So, I mean, here's the thing that kind of works for Washington. All they gave up was 2 third-round picks. That's not that big of a deal for them, and this is an upgraded quarterback for them.
It is.
Do I think it makes them a Super Bowl team? No. They needed a Russell Wilson to be a Super Bowl team. They will not make a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. However, this does make them a potential playoff team for at least the next couple of seasons.
Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, that might have just forced him into retirement. I hope he doesn't retire on an injury last year. I just have to mention, I'm sorry, Colbs. I just have to mention that.
Honestly, I don't mind, because in all seriousness, I don't think that Fitzpatrick's a bad quarterback. I think he's what should be like the best backup in the league, not a starter for anybody, but I do enjoy Ryan Fitzpatrick being in the league.
So, Colbs, you know where I'm going to go with this next. So you know who's going to be Seattle's next starting quarterback here.
So, John, I know who you're going to say, but I also then after that have something for you.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Ladies and gents, it's going to be Jamarcus Russell. No, I just wanted to say that so I could throw you off. It's going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, I actually thought you were going to tell me PJ Walker. So,
no. Ryan Fitzpatrick, because now he's finding a new home. They're moving on from him. So Fitzpatrick needs a spot. Seattle doesn't have a starting QB.
John, there's something that I thought of, and I haven't heard anybody bring it up. And this is just me giving a little bit of a thought here. I wouldn't be pissed if we end up with Gardner Minshew, John.
Oh my God. I have to type in his name. Oh, Colbs?
Gardner Minshew is somebody that oddly does have very efficient stats, and he does have enough of an upside, and I do think he's one of the best 32 quarterbacks in football. Granted, not by much, but I do think that he should be a starter in the NFL. And right now, I've got Drew Lock and Geno Smith. I don't want to see either of them taking the field on Sundays. And, it'll be funny if I end up eating that and Drew Lock ends up being great for us, but I don't foresee that being the case. Gardner Minshew, even though I don't think comes out here and is great, I think with the 2 receivers he has with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, I think that there's some plays to be made. And I think that that's at least a fun team for me to watch, considering that otherwise I have no idea what I'm getting.
Fair enough, dude. I like that one. And I think that one is high high possibility. So I don't know. I'm excited, and now I'm going to be looking in the news media all the time just to see if he ends up in the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Drew Lock as well, Colbs, 25, right? Younger quarterback. Now, I just want to throw this out there too. Somebody's name that gets brought up quite frequently. Somebody else that's 25 years old, Josh Rosen.
His name does not get brought up very frequently.
By me. By
Okay,
3 or
that's
4
fair.
times.
Yeah, you do
I
bring,
do bring
him
him
up.
up. Yeah. So I just have to throw that out there. And of course, because you said it earlier, who do I want to see? You see the light shining behind me? It's like beaming. PJ Walker. That's for you. That's who I want to see. Colbs,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at, man.
To be honest with you, I don't think that they're going to get another quarterback. If anything, getting Drew Lock signifies that they might draft a quarterback in the first round this year, which I really don't want them to because I think this class is going to be a bust. But I wouldn't be shocked if they do because Drew Lock is somebody you can plug in there for a year or two. And even though you're not going to have a lot of success, you might be able to scrape away a 6-11 or a 5-12 season and not look like the dirt of the NFL. Granted, I honestly think it might be better off for the Seahawks if they are the dirt of the NFL for a couple of seasons here, just to get draft picks, build the team. We'll get the quarterback when the time is right. I think that that's the way to do it at this point. I think you're going to see the majority of the veterans on this team out of there. Granted, there's not that many at this point. I mean, getting rid of Russell and Bobby, that's already about half of them. But I mean, like I was just telling you, I think guys like DK Metcalf, I don't know if they're going to be hanging around for very much longer. Jamal Adams, I don't know how long we have him for, but he might be somebody that wants to get on his way somewhere else. We've got 2 free agents right now, and Rashawn Penny and Quandre Diggs, that they might not want to re-sign now. They might say, nah, no, not feeling it. You guys are going to be shit for a couple of seasons. I'd rather just go make money elsewhere and actually compete. But we'll see, especially with Rashawn Penny, because I don't know that there's a huge market for him. And I know he ended last season very well, but his career thus far, he has not shown that he's somebody you want to pay a lot of money to. So
Fair
Seattle
enough.
might now just be offering him more money than anybody else.
Yeah, fair enough, man. I don't know. Haven't you just go through some of those names of some of those Seattle players too?
Yeah.
Seeing that they are missing a quarterback, a running back, a very strong defensive player. Colbs, I know you said the Lions earlier. Is Seattle going to be the next Detroit Lions where they're kind of struggling for a few years? And
well, yes, but I think the difference will be is that we'll eventually become a good team again, whereas I feel like the Lions just never really will.
I feel like they're going to turn it around.
I feel like we'll be talking about the Lions the same way as we are right now in about another 20 years.
No way. They're going to turn around. They're going to have a good season next year. Colbs, different note. USFL. I'm excited for it. I go on the website yesterday to go buy some merchandise just to rep the brand. Oh, I couldn't pull the trigger. Like shirts for like $25. I'm like, I wanted a shirt for like $17.99. So Colbs, I'm sad to say this. After shipping and taxes and everything, it would have cost me about $31 just for a simple shirt. As you can tell, I'm wearing a champion shirt right now. It's got a little bit of a flare, but the USFL shirt, all it has is literally the letters USFL. Nothing fancy, no other graphics. I'm like, damn, homie, I don't know if I can afford to support the brand right now. I need to wait for it to go a little bit more mainstream for those prices to drop and hope Dick's Sporting Goods end up picking it up in their stores like they did the XFL and pick it up on clearance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much for you there. Maybe just don't get so involved in a league that hasn't played a game yet.
Colbs, you're going to be watching it too. We might even do a fantasy football. It won't even exist.
I am not
Never
doing
mind.
fantasy USFL. That will not happen. That will not be a thing. I have no interest.
Okay, question. On sports betting and everything. And I know we've talked about it a couple times over here, and we could do it because it's legal in Connecticut. Boom. So if you're not in Connecticut, too bad. There's other states, whatever. So Colbs, are you going to bet on any USFL games?
Not in the first few weeks. I'd have to see what the teams look like, see what their structure is, figure out what exactly the team's about. That way I can match them up to their opponents. That way when I see a line of 4.5, I know which way to go on it. I'm not just going to blindly say $5 on whoever.
But how can Vegas determine anything when a game has not been played? Couldn't the first week be your most money that could be made?
Vegas has a lot more inside information than I think you're giving them credit for, John. Vegas knows a lot about the players that are on these teams. They know a lot about the coaching staffs. They know a lot about the front offices. And they also have insights to the organizations to where they know if a team's going to be shit going into it for the most part. Not entirely, but for the most part.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As you could tell, I'm just excited for it, but I think I'm going to be pulling for the underdog. So I'm probably going to pull a couple of bets on USFL. Colbs, one other announcement here, sports related as well. Major League Baseball, big news for them. I know you don't care, but did you end up hearing anything before I go ahead and break this news?
Yeah, there'll be baseball. Sweet.
Yeah, right. There's going to be baseball. So the Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association, they agreed to terms. So we're back to the fun. Baseball is back. The lockouts, whatever you want to call it, it's all over for now. Who knows? Next year's another thing. We'll see how that goes. But Colbs, I'm excited for it. It's just cool because baseball always means that the weather's here to change, at least in New England, and it means spring is on our doorstep. So I can't wait for that, dude. The summer, even though we just had a snowstorm yesterday, March 9th.
Well, at least it all melted today.
True. It was 50. Yeah, it was snowing yesterday for a couple of inches over here, and then 50 degrees, and it all melted away. But go figure. That's New England for you. So join us on that wacky weather train. Colbs, I know we're pretty much almost at our time cap here. Did you have anything else for our audience before we go ahead and get out?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can make this pretty quick because there was one particular takeaway from the 1-year-old's birthday party that I did want to get off my chest here.
How was it? How was it going to talking about Rockin' Horse 2011 days and now going and speeding through the metaverse and changing directions and going all over this metaverse place and then boom, ending up at a 1-year-old's birthday party. How was that?
It was fun. There were 4 babies there, actually. I forgot that there was an infant there still. Jordan was carrying a very young baby in his arm. And, it was cool. I'm going to be honest. I actually had a pretty good time with it. And everybody was having fun. It wasn't where everybody was freaking out being parents. I will say that Jay does have what must be like the cutest damn baby in the world. Like there's just something about her face that's just different than every other baby. I don't know. I don't know how to really talk about babies, so I'm gonna get away from this one before I
don't know
make
either.
myself sound
I'm
strange.
very awkward when it comes to those kind of things. I'm awkward as it is to begin with.
Yeah,
but when it
anytime
comes to
anybody's
kids
tried
and stuff,
to hand me a baby, I'm just like, no.
Colbs, even like younger kids, like friends have them or whatever, and I'm just like, hi, like I don't know, like hello.
Yeah, I don't know what to do either. I'm just like, hey,
yeah.
So what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know what to. Yeah.
You got a resume? Like, can I hire you? But so
I don't know either.
Everybody's having kids, so one of the things that people will do is they'll go to all their other friends and ask, hey, so when are you having one? And now, John, you might be thinking that this is something where somebody asked me that, but no, I picked the most awkward person in this friend group that we have. And John, I know that this is a little bit inside for the two of us, but Kurt. And
I know Kurt.
I asked Kurt, I said, so Kurt, when are you having one of these? What I didn't realize, and I knew I was going to make it awkward anyway.
Did you see my facial expression just change? What did he just drop an announcement? Like, what are you saying?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, John, that's the funny thing is what I wanted to do was just make him feel awkward.
Yeah.
But not only did I make him feel awkward, it turns out that him and his girlfriend had just had this conversation and she wants kids and he doesn't. And I made it really awkward. I am nailing 1-year-old birthday parties, man. I got this on lock. I'm going to make it weird for everybody because it's weird for me. I don't know what to do around kids. What do you want? Do you want to
Colts,
touch fingers or whatever?
can you drink at a 1-year-old birthday party? Or
I
would you
did.
be would you be would you be that uncle, like that crazy uncle that's just
John, not only was I drinking, but almost everybody there was drinking.
good? Good. Okay, good.
Yeah,
because
we haven't gotten that old. Everybody was still drinking for the most part. There were a couple of people here and there actually, like, I don't even know if Jay had anything, but Jay doesn't really drink anyway.
true. Um, dude, you know what? I'm happy to hear that because that would have been something else if no one was drinking. It was just all serious conversations about baby talk and stuff. Been like, yeah, so where do you buy your diapers and are they on sale? Like that's a question that I would ask. Like, you know,
one of the things
frick
that
are you
gave me a
supposed to
kick,
say?
John. One of the things that gave me a kick is I was trying to show a Snapchat video. I might have even sent it to you, but I was watching a tablet that had one show on and the TV that had another show on, both baby shows. And I'm just
Oh,
sitting there hanging out with Jordan and his baby because I felt bad
yeah.
for Jordan because his baby's younger than all the other babies. So
So
his
it's
baby,
yeah, it's a
like his
newborn.
baby still needs to be held all the time,
Yeah.
where these other ones are all walking and crawling and doing all that fun stuff. So I
His
kind of felt
baby's a
bad for
blob.
him.
It's a blob baby. It's a new baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to I didn't have to, but I felt like I should hang out with him because I'm like, oh man, everybody else doesn't have to worry about their kids and he does. So he's kind of stuck. Like he kind of has to just be posted up on the couch with the kid. So I went and hung out with him for a little while. And I was taking a video of the tablet and the TV to show like I am fully engulfed in children stuff right now. And all of a sudden, the dad of the party, Jay, comes sweeping in with a portable vacuum, a shop vac, and he's just going through and sweeping everything up. Takes care of everything in like 2 seconds because this is like right after the cake. His baby got cake everywhere, as you would imagine.
Mm.
So he just came right through there, cleaned it all up, dad stuff done, called it a day, went away for a little while. Like this guy's got dadding so down already.
Oh my god, that is good to see. You know what? I think that's a perfect place to go ahead and end this episode. When you got the daddy down, that's when it's good. Is that a good saying?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a great
down?
send off saying it that way. I mean, not that it sounded strange, just like I don't know that was really exciting.
Dad
as a
vibes. There you
conclusion.
go. Dad vibes. See, it's an awkward thing. I don't even know dad talk or baby talk or anything because I'm none of those. So it's like, you know?
Yeah, all
Dad
I know is
vibes?
if you just start singing Baby Shark, they all go nuts.
Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, baby shark doo
Shark
doo
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 doo.
doo doo.
Coles,
Baby
help me
shark
out
doo
and do
doo
the
doo doo.
hand gestures, damn. Come
Oh.
on.
Oh, hold up. Baby Shark doo 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 doo.